Happy Sunday. Hope you're all staying hydrated. Stanley's been helping me out all day. My popcorn bucket. I have an overnight tonight, and I got a project to work on for Stanley. Recently acquired a few new straw caps that I think would make for a really cute theme for Stanley. So I'm gonna work on that tonight. And I was just getting a bunch of stuff together, and I thought, you know what, we haven't got to visit in a little while. I made a bucket hat. It is a granny square bucket hat. Red, white, and blue. Very, very festive. Getting ready for the holidays. I'll link the YouTube tutorial below. Very easy, very basic. I modified it for a bigger head. Nice and easy going formula. I'll link it below if you'd like to make a bucket hat. What else have I been working on? Oh! So the other night, I decided to try to go live to see what that's all about, the process, and kind of night owls are hanging out on the YouTube yarny streets at night. It's a fun crowd. It's a good crowd. While I was chatting and talking, I was working up the Plyarn. How's that? This is the LA Fashion District Plyarn that I got on my road trip to see Sarah Nickel. And this is the Plyarn that I made out of rose scented $1.25 tree trash bag liners, the 13-gallon. Man, that was a project on its own. Well, I ran out. This is two packages, 2 rolls of trash bag liners. I stripped them into about 3-4 inch strips and then looped them inside of each other 2x2 to make the same thickness as the 2x2 LA Plyarn. It has a bottom, a squared off bottom. I had enough of the LA left to go down the side. So there's the side and go around the bottom. Played Yarn Chicken on YouTube Live. That was fun. And I lost. All in good company. I lost. So from a couple inches of not really matching. But if I fold it towards my body and there's no rude people at the beach, no one will ever know. It's a great little design for a bag. I think it would work very well in the, I think it was designed for the raffia paper, or I think some of them come in nylon too. It would be an excellent little pattern for it, or some thicker utilitarian cotton. It would have been perfectly fine. Very nice pattern. Fits well over a larger arm, and I think it'll hold quite a bit. Looking forward to taking it to the beach. All done. It is a YouTube tutorial and a written pattern. I will link those in the description box below. What else? What have you been working on? We've got some hot days. I hope none of you are sitting with a pile of acrylic on your lap making afghans. It's summertime. We need cottons and lightweight things. I had a commission request for a birthday teen, not till October, but we all know I have a lot of fun coming up in October, so I want to definitely get a head start and get this project underway. The commission is for 3 bookmarks. The young teen absolutely loves dragons, so that was my guidelines. Can I make 3 dragon bookmarks? Then they asked that one of them be red and yellows, oranges, red, yellow, oranges. one of them to be greens and yellows, and for the third one to be in blues and purples. Everything else, my imagination could go wild. My imagination went wild. I am not done, but I have started piecing together all three of them, and I'd love to share them with you. Any ideas, any links, any images that you've seen, email me, comment below, help, help, help. I am enjoying it. Let me show you what I've got started. So I've got one on the hook right now, so I'll show you that one first. This is my request for reds and oranges. And of course I'm thinking dragon, I'm thinking fire, I'm thinking brimstone. I was also thinking Mulan. His name's Mushu? Mishu? Mushu? Mushu? Disney fans, tell me. So I've got a little tail piece. This was a bookmark pattern. I modified it a bit because the pattern only had one strip down the middle and then these V-stitches. And when I started working off these front loops and back loops, it was making it really, really wavy. I'm sure it was my tension, not the pattern. So I have this is the base. Then I found a pattern, an incredible pattern. It was made in fuzzy chenille yarn, the bulky blankety fuzzy stuff. Totally modified it. I made it in thread. It is a it is a tiny lantern. And I made it with the gold sparkly Aunt Lydia's metallic holiday thread, black thread and gray. And so then I've got my lantern, and I'm going to hang the lantern off the dragon. I also went back onto AliExpress and I bought some lizard flat-backed eyes that are incredible looking. The orangey, reddy, yellow one. Oh, and then there's a golden amber one. It's a pack of 40. So, you know, I don't want to make them too matchy because I definitely want the eyes to stick out. So the complication I have with this one, oh, I also have, I was looking through my little box of gemstone treasures. I found this ambered colored stone, like a jade kind of ring that I put in here. That was before I found the lantern. So I really like the lantern. It would be nice to incorporate both of them in there, but I don't want it to look too cluttered. It's a bookmark, so it's in here. We'll see. I also didn't know, but I kind of guess I never thought about it. All dragons have wings. Now, in searching all over every pattern website, all over every crack and corner of the interweb, looking at wings, some of them look very angelic and some look very butterfly. It's very, very hard to find different wings. So I've been thinking out of the box. For this dragon, he'll have eyes, he has a lantern. I'm not gonna really do the legs. I'm gonna keep it very simple. I'm thinking maybe I should look up flame patterns or maybe border patterns. And maybe there's some stitch combinations I could modify for that. So for that one, I could definitely use some tips and tricks on what sort of wings do you think a fire dragon, what general shapes, or what, of course I thought flames, right? Very angular. I think that describes more what I was thinking, angular. And then, which one to show you next? Oh, they're all fun. Let's see. I've been working them with my small hooks, B225, it's a clover. I have my my Daiso Japanese dollar store hooks, which I absolutely love for amigurumi. They got like a nice tight little point at the top. They're very, very smooth. Those stitches just roll off of it. This is a 2.5. And oh, this is a Daiso hook too. I got my 2. So 2 is really the smallest that I went with this embroidery thread, just because I didn't want them too small, too big. The next one I have is my blue purple dragon. My colors. This one I was kind of thinking dreamy, sleepy, very, very icy, very cold. I was thinking watery, kind of. And so this one, and this one I'm not sure about the head part yet. I haven't quite figured out that one. This one is very, very relaxed, very calm. And then I have these wings made out of some iridescent embroidery thread. Can we get some shimmer? They're shimmery. They look like moonlight. They're so shimmery. Working down, I did not tie in any of my ends because I'm not sure. I've got some nice ends here on the peaks here and here, and I'm thinking I could string some beads possibly. I'm not sure. I didn't want to trim them up yet. Following down, this is a bookmark pattern on YouTube. Following it down, and then going through my gems and stones, I found a crystal. So I have this one, got a nice little peaked edge tail on that one. And then I will figure out a slim head type component. So this one's not done yet. And I might need to go all the way around these wings. And nothing's been blocked or anything like that yet. They're really, really rough edged, but I wanted to show you guys. On this one, I could use some advice on what sort of head you would put on this dragon. Could also add some very long legs, but kind of want to keep that part very vague. I do have a very basic dragon head when I was making those little dragons, the little worryworm dragons. There's a very, very basic, simple head that I could make with complementary colors. And it's small, and there's only a little bit of fluff that goes into it. So it could hang out the top of the book. And I could do some very sleepy eyes, or maybe there's some eyes in the pack that I ordered. Some nostrils, maybe some gills or something off the side. I could find maybe some axolotl fin type. I can combine different patterns and come up with something dreamy, watery, flowing, calm. So that's that one. And the third one I have was the greens and the yellows. Naturally, a lot of like foresty, fresh air, kind of organic plants, leaves came to mind. I started one with the basic crocodile stitch. It was way too thick. I made a nice long chunk of it, but it was too thick for a bookmark. Very dense. So I was looking for something just a lot lighter. I came up with some very thin leaf, kind of, it was too wispy. The red one's kind of hardy and thicker. There were quite a few filet crochet bookmarks that had, graph designs on them. It was a bit too organized for earthy, foresty, leafy. So I started this one backward. I started with a leaf pattern. Why not start with a leaf? And I made this leaf. And I thought, oh, what a marvelous tail. I was thinking, oh, you know, a woodsy dragon would definitely be camouflaged and blending in. And I had these little amber colored beads, glass beads that I put on the tips of them. This was an amazing pattern. I could see this being a beautiful house plant, room decor, little office area decor. So, and it looks good on both sides. And of course I found the variegated yellows and greens, looking good. And then I found a bookmark pattern for a very scaly look. It's using back loops, keeping the same stitch count, adding 2 to the middle. And then I did a running slip stitch down the middle with some copper fall colored leaves. I also used the copper thread. This was a spool of embroidery thread, I think. Let me look. Yeah, it was a DMC spool of coppery thread. And so I put it down the side, just a basic 5 double crochet cluster down the sides. And then I got down to here. I think this will be the nose, the head part. Get those eyes on there and maybe some sort of gills or trimming or something. And then I found a key. It looks like a hot air balloon, very light, same kind of earth tones kind of, but a key. A dragon would have a key. A dragon would have a lantern or a ring or a crystal or just something. Dragons keep things for us, right? And a key, secrets. So at the end, I have this nice little edge across here and across here, and I will attach the leaf tail, leaving a bit of a gap. I think I like that airy gap in it. So I have the tail, the body part, and then I'll work with some sort of facial features in here, and then the key. So this one also needs wings. Even though it's so thick and so bulky, I need something, and I thought of looking up leaf patterns. Tons. Bag O' Day has tons of beautiful maple leaf patterns, but I don't want anything too cumbersome because I already have such a large tail piece. So maybe just something extremely wispy. I looked up, you know, the Christmas time, how they have the doily angels. I was looking up something like that I could crochet in an earthy organic color of some kind. And a lot of them are connected in the center of the angel wings will have some sort of circle to it, and then the wings come off of it. I think that would help balance, instead of adding more bulk, but to just balance it towards the middle of this. So it's an idea. What do you think? Man, every time I make these little visits, I always think, I wish I could just talk to you right now. Like, come on. I got the itch to keep crocheting. I need instant feedback. And that's, I think, one of the awesome parts about lives. I think I really like them. I love sitting and actually talking and chatting. And that live that I did the other night, I was working on the Plyarn bag and everyone was just chatting and talking, and it was a room full of friends. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed that. So that's what I'm working on. Please, please, please leave me some feedback. Talk to me, people. Talk to me, people. Someone I used to love to talk to about crochet was my grandma. It's like we were talking a foreign language. My grandpa had no idea what we were chattering about. Tension in singles and doubles. Would you like to meet my grandma? Recently, we've been doing some cleaning in the family house, and I came across some pictures. and some very precious items that I am so excited to show you. This is my grandma. Yeah, maybe. There she is. That's my grandma Ruth. We never called her Ruth. We call her grandma. Very informal. And this is my grandma when she first met my grandpa in Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri, Goodman, Missouri. Somewhere between the two. And there's my grandma. I wonder if she already knew how to crochet in that picture. I don't know. I know she sewed. She's a seamstress. Guaranteed she made that dress. Maybe. That's my grandma. Gosh, I miss her. There were lots and lots of boxes of just things and things and things and generational things and things and things in a pile of paperwork. Sticking out, I saw this. Crochet hooks. My grandma had a lot of crochet hooks that she picked up from everywhere and anywhere and all over the world. And she'd put little project bags together and put the hooks with what she was working on. This is by no means all of my grandma's crochet hooks. These are probably not even her favorite crochet hooks. But I don't know where those are. I don't know where they wandered off to in the world. And so I am so happy to have just a glimpse. It's all I need. Just something tangible to hold into my hands, right? So this is the pouch she had them in. It is a little glasses pouch, a little vinyl glasses pouch that she snipped the corners of and has folded it down. But that's my grandma's handwriting. That's grandma's handwriting. What have we here? Ooh, we got some goodies. So right away, I see 3 new boy hooks. I could not remember what my grandma's favorite hook was. It's a boy hook. We got an N, a J, and a K. These are the ones guaranteed she used to make granny square blankets. That was definitely one of her favorite blankets to make because she didn't need a pattern. My grandma always said that she wasn't crafty or creative enough to work without a pattern. She could have, and I'm sure she did. And then we got a little modern boy. This one's an E. And then we get into the juicy stuff. So we've got this extremely sharp, long doll needle. Well, I don't know if they're called doll needles. I've always just called them doll needles because they go all the way through the doll when you're attaching arms and legs. That sucker's sharp. So we're gonna stick that back in here so I don't accidentally drop it. And it had a big eye on it, so definitely for threading, threading yarn through. And then just the other day I was watching somebody's video and they were talking about a tool that they use when they do amigurumi with threads and that sort of thing, how it's really hard to get those safety eyes through the back of that thread because those stitches are already small and tight. This originally I think is used for upholstery or shoes or sewing into leather or thick fabrics. When you're sewing them together, you pre-punch holes with them. So it's got like a flat little end. If it's super thick, you could use a hammer to get it through. But this is my new tool for putting eyes on amigurumi. Thank you, Grandma. And then, let's see. We have 3 hooks, 3 steel hooks. We got 2 8s that are a boy. Typical, nothing too fancy, other than they were held in my grandma's hands. And then we have this little oddball 7. No markings. The stamping's like off-centered on it. The steel on it's slightly grayed, and it is not sharp at the end at all, but it's not a Bates. It's boy style. More of a smaller maker, probably. Just, she picked it up somewhere. And then we get to the interesting stuff. My grandparents moved to California to work in the shipyards. And they were very, very much salt of the earth, homely people. They fixed it, made it do, kept using it, or ingenuity just took over and then they figured out how to make things work. Very much my grandma. Here we have a 9-boy hook. Very nice shape. Nice and sharp. And at the end of it, we have a weird counterbalance. And I think, and I've seen ladies on YouTube when they're making, oop, I didn't want to show you those yet. One mystery at a time. I see those ladies making crochet doilies and they're moving so fast and they got their hook and it's just bobbling around. I think it's a counterbalance. Or, you don't remember the shape of my grandma's hands. A lot of times people say the hooks are short and they rub against their hand and they don't like it as much. I don't know. I wish she was here to tell me. But that is a plastic band off the back of a pen with some masking medical tape on there. Yeah. Very creative. Very creative. And then we used to get these packs of Lisa Frank stationaries and accessories and stuff. And I remember one of them had a pen in it. My grandma loved to collect pencils and pens. It was part of her growing up and, you know, never really having enough. She would collect pencils and pens and keep them in jars all over the house. There's one of those Lisa Frank square style stationary pens. Grandma has cut off the tip part of it, melted it down a bit, and shoved a 1-thread crochet hook in there. She had arthritis, and I think that was her way of making it longer, a little thicker, but she left her thumb rest just perfect. Thank you, Grandma. This might become one of my new favorite hooks. This one, or this monstrosity. Oh my goodness, this one. Okay, this one, she experimented with glue. So we've got our pen, and she's cut off the end of it, but then the end seemed like it was a little too big. She's got a boy and it says USA on there, so it was an old one. Excellent tip. Hasn't been bent over or bent at all. It's nice and straight. But she's got this pen in there and then some sort of epoxy, resin, hard epoxy in there. And she liked this one because she protected it. How's that? You got a hook, you like the hook part, you don't like the handle? No problem. There are people out there modifying things to make things work for them. So those are my prized possessions. I'm gonna have to go down to the bank and buy a safety deposit box so that I can keep my hooks in it. She's special. She's a grandma. She's special. I don't have anything that that she's made. I do. I do. I'm gonna use the magic of editing. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm back. I do have something my grandma made for me. Let's see. I was already off on my own. I had my own little studio apartment. I was working 3 jobs. I delivered newspapers for Contra Costa Times in the morning. And then I'd go to school. I'd go to high school. And then after I got off school, I would go work at Payless Shoe Source, a shoe store. And then in the evenings, I would go work overnights at Joann Fabrics and stock shelves. Yeah, that's when I had all the energy in the world. And I kept telling my grandma how cold it was. In the morning, delivering the newspapers, and my overnight shift, the stores were so cold when I was stocking the shelves. She made me a scarf, and she tucked up the ends. So she told me to go buy some yarn, any yarn that I liked. And of course I picked that Lions brand homespun stuff. Ugh, I had no idea how terrible it was to work with. And it was kind of expensive. And I remember it was like, oh, okay. So I bought it and brought it to her, and she didn't argue it. No. She said, okay, well, it's not very much yardage for a scarf. She's like, I'm gonna use a big hook and we're gonna put some big holes in it. I hope it keeps you warm. It did, because she made it with love. And she made it with pockets. Love the pockets, and she even left some little fringe. It's looking a little rough now, but oh my gosh. Let's see, high school, I must have been, what, 16, 17, 18? And I'm 42 now. Oh my gosh. This is vintage yarn. So it's like a 20-year-old scarf. Yeah. My grandma made it. I'm gonna have it forever. It's gonna hang in my closet. I knew right where it was when I said I didn't have anything that she'd made. I do. I have the hooks, I have the yarn, I have pictures, and I have memories. I've got to hold on to those memories, right? Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I love visiting with you. Thank you for coming by. And I hope to see you again really, really soon. Take care. Bye.